Parents carried exhausted children toward the lifeboats. Crew members forced frightened passengers down nearly vertical stairways. Engineers fought rising seawater below deck. In the middle of this chaos, everyone operated under a single stabilizing assumption. Their captain was on the bridge, fighting for them. He wasn't. Hundreds of meters away, isolated in the dark and freezing water, Captain Francesco Schettino was already completely off the Costa Concordia. How he ended up there remains one of the most debated questions in maritime history. Schettino insisted he accidentally fell into a lifeboat as the deck violently lurched. Prosecutors argued he deliberately abandoned his command long before the evacuation finished. While lawyers would debate the physics of that departure for years, thousands of people still trapped inside the vessel were focused on surviving the next few minutes. This uncertainty regarding why the captain left changed the nature of the investigation, shifting the focus from a maritime accident to a public scrutiny of a commander's legal and moral obligations during a crisis. Every minute, the ship leaned farther toward the sea. The severe angle turned standard architecture into impassable obstacles. Hallways became walls. Staircases became climbing frames. Heavy furniture crashed across marble floors. Down in the flooded compartments, water rushed through with enough force to tear doors from their hinges. Somewhere in the dark, emergency lights flickered a final time before entire sections of the ship went black. Parents began screaming the names of children lost in the crowd. Formal evacuation procedures collapsed. In their place, waiters turned into rescuers. Housekeepers carried elderly passengers on their backs, pulling them toward any potential exit. Deep below the waterline, engineers refused to leave. They stayed at their posts, knowing that every extra minute they kept systems running gave another family a chance to escape. There were no cameras down there to record them, and no expectation of a headline. With the formal chain of command broken, true leadership fell to the lowest-ranking staff on the payroll. They simply looked at the situation, recognized what had to be done, and stayed. A radio channel opened. Coast Guard officer Gregorio De Falco established contact. His singular priority: get Captain Schettino back on board to coordinate the rescue. What followed was a cyclical, agonizing exchange. De Falco repeatedly ordered Schettino to return to the vessel. The captain responded with deflections and explanations. De Falco issued the order again. More explanations followed. Every passing second of the recording documented a breakdown in the chain of command, transforming a standard rescue call into a permanent historical record of the bridge's failure. That audio would eventually condemn Schettino in the eyes of the global public, but for the people still trapped in the dark on the severe incline of the ship, those broadcasted words provided zero physical aid. By now, the extreme tilt of the vessel made the ship's safety systems useless. Lifeboats on the high side of the hull could no longer be launched. They simply hung there at an impossible angle. Seeing the stalemate, local fishermen ignored official danger protocols. They steered small boats into the wreckage zone, pulling survivors from the freezing Mediterranean. On shore, the residents of Giglio Island mobilized immediately. They opened churches and hotels, transforming civilian buildings into emergency triage centers, with blankets, food, and dry clothes, long before official government support fully arrived. The ship's multi-million-dollar safety protocols had collapsed entirely. The survival of thousands now relied heavily on the improvised, rapid intervention of the local civilians. At sunrise, the Costa Concordia sat motionless against the rocks, a toppled white skyscraper resting on its side. News helicopters broadcasted daylight imagery across the world. The narrative shifted instantly from an ongoing rescue mission to a criminal investigation. The public demanded answers to two primary questions. How could a modern vessel sink in perfectly calm weather, and where was the man supposed to be commanding it? Investigators knew the sheer visual scale of the wreck meant human memory and conflicting opinions would be useless. They needed hard evidence. Deep inside the wreck, beneath twisted steel and flooded compartments, a single device had quietly logged everything. The ship's data recorder tracked steering angles, mechanical alarms, and every conversation on the bridge. It couldn't lie, and it couldn't panic. When the Marine investigators finally extracted that data, they found that the disaster was not a sudden accident. It was the direct result of a specific human decision made long before the hull ever struck the reef. That evidence pulled the captain out of the Mediterranean and placed him squarely inside an Italian courtroom, triggering a protracted trial centered entirely on accountability. The sunken wreck remains a permanent record of how specific human choices override modern technology and established safety protocols. The investigative file is never truly closed.